Hello and welcome back to the Fundamentals of SQL course. We are now in the SQL statement and aggregation section of the course, and we are focusing on the group by statement. So the goal of a group by statement is to group records into summary rows, or more simply put, categories. So we take these values and we put them into buckets. So group by returns one record for each group, and it typically involves the different aggregations such as count, max, min, sum, and average. And you can group by one or more columns using standard SQL syntax. So the general syntax for this is to select our column names from our table name. We will usually give it a condition using the where statement and filter our results, and then we can group by these columns. With a group by clause, we might want to sort the records that are returned, and so we could add the order by clause, but the order by clause is always going to come after the group by. So for our examples, we're going to use the count aggregate. And as we learned about in the aggregation session earlier, the count aggregate counts the amount of values within a specified column. So let's say we want to list the number of films in each rating category. So let's break this down. Thinking of my shopping list, I want to select the film ID and the rating. And I want to think about which one I'm counting and which one is being grouped. So if we want to list the number of films in each rating category, I'm going to count the film IDs and call on my rating. So I know that I'm going to group them into my ratings, but we can't write our group by yet. We have to tell it which table we're taking it from, so the DVD film table. And then we are going to group by rating. So if we run this, this is going to return all of the film IDs, or the count of all the film IDs in each rating category. So let's run it. We get 5 rows as expected. So we have our rating and the count of each film. So this means that there's 210 films that are rated NC-17, 195 that are rated R, so on and so forth. We could also list the number of films in each rating category sorted by the amount of films. So let's now add an order by clause to sort these from high to low. If I'm sorting high to low, I'm going to write it out in descending order. So let's say the same query. So we're counting each film ID in each rating from the DVD film table. We're going to group it by the rating, and then we're going to order by the count of the film ID. I can't just write out film ID here because that's not what we're calling in the select statement. We're calling this aggregated film ID, and we're aggregating it by the count function. So let's run this. Oop. I didn't specify descending, so it automated to ascending. So let's just add that in and fix this query and run it. And now we have it in descending order. So let's do another query. So let's show another query that shows us we're counting individual film IDs that fall into each release year. So we can select the count of our film IDs and release year. Release year. From the DVD film table, we can group it by the release year and then order it by release year. So if we run this, we get all of our films, and they were all released in the year 2006. So when we're using the group by statement, we are essentially taking our records and we are putting them into categories or buckets. This usually includes aggregates as the count, max, min, sum, or average. And you can group by one or more columns when you get into more complex SQL queries. So this is the group by lecture. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next section.